Welcome back to the Mysteries in Depth. This isn't a very difficult mission, but it is definitely a fun one, and there are plenty of things to talk about. I am interested to really dig into this mission because there are a lot of things to dig into. Now here is the journal for this mission.
Saturday, April 25th, south of Silver Mines. Still, Shiver stands between us and Soulblighter, just as she did 2 days ago on the Aya River. The men who fought there faced an army of thrall meant more as an impediment than anything else. Did Soulblighter plan to wash both the Legion and Shiver out to sea? Truly, there is no end to the fiend's malfeasance. Ulrich was able to repel Shiver's attack and push her all the way to the broken lands south of Silver Mines. But there was never an opportunity to strike at her directly. We will resolve that within hours. The Deceiver has been screaming for Shiver's blood all day. Ulrich has chosen 5 men of unwavering courage to accompany the Deceiver into the labyrinth of ravines where she hides. There they will hunt her down and destroy her. With Shiver gone, Ulrich and the rest of us will attempt to outflank Soulblighter and pin him against the cloud spine.
There is a journal image showing Shiver and her thrall army that fought against Ulrich to impede his progress across the Aya River. The journal writer wonders if Soulblighter's plan was to wash both Ulrich and Shiver downstream by breaking the dam. As I said in the last video, Soulblighter's strategies are starting to reveal a bit of panic and desperation. However, I think Shiver knew of Soulblighter's plan to destroy the dam, because why else would she willingly go into battle with Ulrich with just a thrall? And also, I haven't mentioned this yet, but Soulblighter and Shiver have a sort of romantic relationship, and that is why Shiver is here as an obstacle and the last line of defense. We will see the Deceiver bring this up in the mission. Here is Shiver's flavor text, which discusses Soulblighter bringing her back to life with Trauma's mirror. Her spirit disconnected from her body, set adrift on the ether, gathered up by Soulblighter, and made corporeal with the terrible power of Trauma's mirror. I believe I've said this in a previous video, but I will say it again anyways, that Shiver likely looks as hideous as she is because of her battle with Robokin in Myth the Fallen Lords. She was literally burned or zapped with lightning or something to that effect, so that is why she looks like she was fried. Shiver has 3 attacks that are all quite powerful. Her long-range spell is called the Whisper Dream Initiator in the tag files and is a very long-range attack that shoots multiple projectiles. I think Bungie intended this to be the same attack that Shiver used on Robokin in the Tales from Myth comic, however it looks quite a bit different in-game. Her second attack is called the Ribble Spell in the tag files and is alternatively called the Tremor Dream within the hints for the mission. It is shorter range than her Whisper Dream, but it does a very large amount of damage. It will one-shot the Huron Guard heroes even on timid difficulty. The hints for this mission tell us that the Tremor Dream can be dodged with faster units. The Tremor Dream makes it very difficult to get her to use her third attack in the mission, which is called the Defense Spell in Loathing. This creates a sort of magical ring around her that will damage your units over time. To put it simply, Shiver has a very dangerous arsenal of spells that will quickly dismantle your troops. Now, if you play through the games, you might wonder where Shiver got her dream magic and how she was able to live so long. Well, that actually makes a lot of sense if you consider that she was a lover of Soulblighter. Soulblighter was a Huron Guard, so he could extend her life with mandrake roots, and since he regularly disappeared to the Untamed Lands, it is likely that Shiver, being his lover, also went with him. They likely learned the magic that they both have in the Untamed Lands together somehow. There is another journal image that shows Ulrich and his fellow warriors who have been pushed through Shiver's defenses and are now pursuing Soulblighter. Since the dam was not destroyed, Shiver has no chance to hold back Ulrich's army. Shiver was able to escape temporarily, so Ulrich has chosen 5 heroes to go with the Deceiver to chase her down. There is a journal image showing this small force. She is somewhere south of Silver Mines. Let's talk about each of the heroes in the mission and share their flavored text before we start this mission. We got the Warlock Ciankide, which is Storyteller and Scottish Gaelic. Sorry if I butcher these names. He recharges mana extremely quick compared to other Warlocks. Here is his flavor text. He had sacrificed much in pursuit of the ultimate truth. A permanent chair at the University of Covenant, a seat in the King's Court, and there was no denying it, his soul. I would have assumed the Warlocks were frowned upon within Covenant in recent history, so perhaps he is quite old. Next we got the dwarf Andvari, who I alluded to earlier. Andvari is Icelandic and means breeze. He can throw grenades much farther and more frequently than normal dwarves. Here is his flavor text. He had been a mathematician and engineer before the Great War. When Stonheim fell to the Gauls and the university was destroyed, these skills served him well in the years to come. I brought this flavor text up before explaining that Stonheim was likely the location where the mortars were invented. Perhaps Andvari helped invent them. Next we got the bowman Oderic. Oderic shoots arrows extremely fast and at a farther range than your typical bowman. He has 4 fire arrows which are not very effective in a desert type map like this one. Here is his flavor text. In battle, his bow sang like a lyre. By the time his first arrow was tearing through the heart of his enemy, he had already loosed 2 more. Many a Gaul had sworn a blood oath on his name. We got 2 Huron Guard heroes in this mission also. Each one has 9 Mandrake roots and is much stronger in combat than your typical Huron Guard. The first one is 10 Soaring White Eagle, and here is his flavor text. He hadn't slept in 2 days, but still he fought. His joints ached and his hands bled, but still he fought. On the dawn of the 3rd day, the Kithlas fled from the pass in retreat. By Kithlas, he is talking about Myrmidons. This flavor text must be talking about a battle during the Great War in one of the passes through the Cloud Spine prior to the fall of Nethemni. Next we got Flint Motion's son, and here is his flavor text. Flint had to stifle a grin when word came that the brigand camp had been attacked by 12 to 15 swordsmen. He remarked, "It's odd that I didn't see them, but I was rather busy." By rather busy, what could he possibly mean? Now let's jump into the mission. Shiver and her forces are trapped in the canyons. Destroyer. So at the beginning of the mission we get this kind of dialogue between Shiver and Silver.
If it isn't Alric's lapdog, will you bow to anyone who claims the throne of the Cathbruig?
The path to retribution does make for strange bedfellows. Would you not agree, Ravana?
She starts attacking Deceiver after Deceiver makes her upset, but her attacks really don't do much damage. You see, he took a load of damage, but you come close, start coming to her, and Shiver's like, "Screw this! I can't beat him. I'm running away." So we're all good with that. Now, it'll make more sense later, but I'm gonna go along the bottom side of this map in order to complete this mission. Now, you really don't have to. Actually, I'm gonna hotkey. I'm gonna set my presets real quick. I'm really not gonna bother converting units in this mission because there's no fetch to convert. You can convert some Recridia, which can be kind of good as a defensive move, but like, I really don't care to have more units to control because I'm trying to control my units with precision. Now there's some Solus on this kind of rock.
Alright.
So we're just gonna try to bring our archer in range.
Ready.
We want our archer to kind of get him off the sill. And they're just gonna shoot a fireball and let him walk into it. And there you go, they barely even attacked us. They had no chance. Now there's a lot of Thrall on this map that are gonna attack us, like a lot of Thrall. And that's one thing I do not like about this map is it's just kind of... What are you doing, Shiver? What are you doing? It's Shiver. That's weird. Okay, I'm distracted. Losing my train of thought. That's kind of funny. She's just kind of roaming around. Sometimes she does go a certain path, but I always thought she went like from this way. I thought she went like the most direct route because her camp's up here somewhere like on the map. See, we're kind of going left. We kind of start, you know, right here facing this way, right? So I always thought she went this way, but it appears that sometimes she can go to the left also, which is interesting. Now we'll get a bunch of thrall coming soon, that's for sure. Lots of thrall. Or lots of thrall, as in one thrall. Here comes some units up here we can quickly destroy. You gotta watch the map because sometimes some mercs come. Here's one. Some of those mercs came with this group with all thrall, which kind of had me a little worried, but looks like I dealt with them fine. I might have some lapses where I don't say much in this game, and it's not because just I start, you know, thinking and I start forgetting that I'm commentating, you know what I mean? I'm not like I'm not much for one for like talking a lot while I'm playing. I'm not like super talkative, like, you know what I mean? Like I like to think things through, but I'm not like a big talker, you know. I like to. Oh, here comes. I didn't notice these guys.
Move over.
No! Dumbass. Ah. Sometimes the hero dwarf throws me off on my timing because he attacks so much faster, so sometimes I forget that like he might attack, you know what I mean? Because he just is so much faster than the regular dwarves that I don't expect it, you know what I mean?
Move here, move there.
The dwarves and fire or warlocks attacks don't jive very well because the grenades will cause the fireballs to go off. So they don't really jive very well together. So you can see I try to use the warlock's attack and then finish them off with the dwarf because just think that's the best, probably the best way to do it. Or have them attack different groups, you know. It's like he almost kills him. The dwarf can't kill him that fast. So you might as well just let, for the most time efficient way to kill him, I think is just to let the warlock attack him on his own at the beginning. There's no more soulless in this mission. The soulless are all near like the beginning of the mission. Maybe I'll heal my warlock just for the heck of it. These guys weren't quite as stacked up, so they were more of a line, so it's harder to get them all with the warlock, but when there's less of them, you know, it's easier for the dwarf to pick them off. It's just a lot faster. Okay, what is this? We got some mercs. Get our guys in position while we can. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought they'd finish them off. I was like, I think they're low enough on health that the dwarf will finish them off, and I don't have to send the melee in. So, like, I could, you know, convert some of these mercs, like I was saying, but like, it just would give me more stuff to control and bog me down more. I feel like. We'll see. We might be towards the end of the mission. There might not be much left. Yeah, we're almost at the end of the mission. Now, I'll show you why I came this way here in just a sec. I'm not sure. I didn't try to do this from the other side, but I'm pretty sure it will only work on this side. So you got all these mercs. So this is Shiver's camp. Shiver is out here in this camp. Now, you got to kind of come around and go down this ramp and come over here to fight them. But all these kind of mercs kind of start like right in around here. But you know, if we come this way, oh look, we got some thrall coming from behind we got to deal with. But you know, like by getting them all stuck, I'm gonna kind of lead them over here and kill them. But first, we got to deal with these thrall real quick. They'll just take a second. Trying to hit the sides, since we're in a line, I feel like it's more effective. There's a lot of thrall in this group. This must be a couple of groups combined. Yeah, they must have got stuck somewhere. Oh well, we'll be fine. Try to keep the warlock kind of distant so that he will tend to want to attack someone. Don't attack. Don't attack him. Don't you dare. Why are you wanting? Gotta micro my guys to keep them from killing each other. Yeah, I haven't had that happen before. I felt like there was like less thrall attacking me than usual. So it seems that they all got stuck somewhere and then they all found their way up at the same time, you know what I mean? Probably like all stuck on each other somewhere on the map.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna kind of keep all our units kind of clumped here to try to get them to attack me. And then we're gonna bring the deceiver out because there's a merc giant over here. There's a couple mercs that found their way over here. But I want to kill this merc giant, and the merc giant doesn't like to come all the way over here, so I want to bring the merc giant just far enough so that these guys won't come up. Here he comes. So now, come on. Now these guys are on him, so now we're just going to bring our guys to this corner. He's dead. Gotta be careful to bring the deceiver back over here. So all these mercs will now run around to here, and they'll all get stuck here.
Okay.
So now we'll just let our guys have some fun. Now kill all these mercs real quick for us. Isn't that nice of them? Okay, now we're done with that. Now there's really nothing left. There's these 3 Mercuria giants over on this other side, which is another reason to come this way. You don't have to deal with them. But if you bring a guy along just like this, you can go to Shiver's camp and end the game. But I'm not going to do that because I want to show you something else. Come down here. There's this interesting little platform, right? Oh, and we got a group of Thrall coming. Okay, they're gonna mess up our fun. We'll deal with them real quick. These Thrall are just showing up out of nowhere, aren't they? Normally, I don't have them show up here. I don't know why. I wonder if it's because of how fast I went. Okay. Okay, but on this little thing, it looks like there's like some like little item here, right? If you look at it, it kind of looks like the top of one of the Warlock's staves, doesn't it? You look at his staff, right? Kind of looks like the top of that, right? It has it's just more magical, right? And so, if you kind of look at this ground, right, around it, like there's like a high point here, almost like there's a bridge, right? If you run up here, maybe I'm not quite on the right spot. There it is. Okay. I guess you gotta stand right there. You gotta stand right in a specific spot, and then this thing will come up. Then you can go grab it. Which is another thing, is if you were over here, you could click on it and show this box. You're like, huh, I'm supposed to pick that up somehow. And you grab it. But they put it really small, so you can't, it's kind of hard to see, but it does have that glow that kind of helps you point out. And now if you look at his inventory, right, he has some 4 ammo of some kind of attack. So I'm going to show you that off to you. Huh, I never realized you can't heal the Deceiver past that much health. Interesting. So, we're going to use this attack on these Mercuria giants. We're just going to let the Warlock take them out, just kind of show off this item. I will leave that up so we can see how much ammo we got. So if we... Now we're just going to have him run away and have the Warlock just shoot his little item. You see, when it's flying through the air, it's like 3 little fireballs, right, in one. Blows up 3 times. Do you see? It just completely obliterated them. Does he have any left? Yeah, he has 1 left. So, like, something we could have done, right, is we could have used that for that big group of mercs, and maybe that's what they intended it for. Maybe they intended it for these merc giants. Maybe for both. I'm not sure. But I think that's a neat little secret that Bungie put in this mission. So, we're gonna just bring all our units up here too, and we come, and once we get like across somewhere around here, eventually we'll see Shiver. There's Shiver. So this is then the mission. We're gonna confront Shiver. So the Deceiver needs to go have a chat with her, but the game will put us in a sort of dialogue. So I'll go ahead and get rid of the map. He's going to go confront Shiver. And I'll just be quiet and let you guys enjoy this.
The years have not been kind, have they, fair Ravana?
I've said this before, Mildred, and now that mouth of yours is finally going to get you killed.
Do you mean to challenge me? You? A lowly camp follower in Damas's vanquished army?
Fennett, teach this cur a lesson. Fool! Why do you hesitate?
Well, fella?
Yes, my master.
What?
And now we gotta wait until the Deceiver finishes off Shiver. One thing I noticed is these little like blue things coming down. Like, what the heck is that? But anyways. So somehow Deceiver's or Shiver's death kills the Deceiver. See his body parts all over the place. Now, well, we'll talk about that more later. But something else I noticed is in the kill ratio, right? So we didn't get no casualties because the Deceiver died. We had one casualty. He only had 2 kills. We barely used him. The Warlock had almost all the kills. Or not almost all. He had like half. Well, not quite half, but close to half of them. But you know, it's the kill ratio and the number of kills don't match up. So my theory is that, you know, probably the kills that Fella did are counted here, you know, with his dispersal dream spells, but they don't count here. So that's my guess. But anyways. The windscreen shows the Warlock Siankide standing next to a pile of dead Macridia, and likely also Thrall. We can see one of the Huron guards in the back also. Man, did we defeat a lot of enemy units in this mission. The last screen shows a Macridia holding the bowman Oderic by the throat and is getting ready to deliver the killing blow. We can also see another Macridia killing another one of the heroes on the right side of the image. Now let's talk about the dialogue between the Deceiver and Soulblighter at the beginning of the mission.
If it isn't Ulrich's lapdog, will you bow to anyone who claims the throne of the Cathbruig?
The path to retribution does make for strange bedfellows. Would you not agree, Ravana?
Shiver tries to throw an insult at the Deceiver for serving Ulrich, which is a pretty weak one at that. The Deceiver also served the throne of the Cathbruig during the time of Connacht at the end of the Wind Age. The Deceiver replies that their path to retribution has strange bedfellows. On one hand, he is explaining that he is willing to serve under Ulrich in order to get revenge against Soulblighter and Shiver, and on the other hand, he is implying at the romantic relationship between Soulblighter and Shiver. That is why he asks her if she does not agree. He then calls her by her true name Ravana, which causes her to get angry and attack the Deceiver. I believe this is the only instance within the Bungie games that Shiver's true name is revealed. Now Shiver starts attacking with her Whisper Dream against the Deceiver, which does almost no damage to him. However, if you freeze the game when your attacks hit the Deceiver or another one of your units, you will see what almost looks like the Tain within an explosion. I really don't think there is a lower explanation for this though, but if you come up with something, let me know. Now let's talk about the dialogue at the end of the mission.
The years have not been kind, have they, fair Ravana?
I've said this before, Mildred, And now that mouth of yours is finally going to get you killed.
Do you mean to challenge me? You? A lowly camp follower in Damas's vanquished army?
Fellet, teach this cur a lesson. Fool! Why do you hesitate?
Well, Fellet?
Yes, my master.
What?
The deceiver insults Ravana, saying that the years have not been kind to Shiver. Knowing that Shiver's weakness in the Great War was vanity, the deceiver is insulting her to get under her skin. Shiver then uses the deceiver's true name Mildred, which I think I probably already shared with you earlier in this series. She tells the deceiver that his mouth is finally going to lead to his death. The deceiver doesn't feel threatened at all and continues to insult her by calling her a lowly camp follower in Damas's vanquished army. Again, she reveals Soulblighter's true name, but Soulblighter's flavor text already told us his true name. With the deceiver and Shiver using each other's true names, you can tell that they knew each other well during the Wind Age. This, of course, makes Shiver more upset as she tries to send Fellet at him, only to discover that Fellet was serving the deceiver. This goes back to my belief that the deceiver had used the Binding Dream spell on Fellet, which allowed them to escape Soulblighter's camp during a Murder of Crows mission. After freeing them, he sent Fellet on to Shiver in order to deceive her later. Notice the tone of Fellet's voice when he says, "Yes, my master."
Well, Fellet?
Yes, my master.
What?
It almost sounds like he is possessed. Unfortunately, the deceiver dies at the end of the mission from some sort of explosion created by Shiver's death. It is strange that the deceiver's death is never mentioned later on in the journals. It is almost like the narrator really didn't care about his death. Something to think about is the deceiver had one of Soulblighter's crows in his possession, so is that crow now dead permanently, so Soulblighter is doomed to never be able to turn into a flock of crows again? I wish I could say more about the deceiver's death, or about why Shiver had the massive explosion when she died, but there is really nothing in the game that gives me a good idea of why these events occurred. Now, there is a trick that people have used to kill Shiver at the beginning of the mission. If you place a bunch of satchels on the ground and then lead her directly on top of it, you can shoot a bunch of fire arrows to cause the satchels under her to explode. If she is directly on top of them, she will die, but if she is not, she will have some health left. Strangely enough, O'Dara can shoot his fire arrows farther than his regular arrows, allowing him to shoot fire arrows at Shiver at the end of the mission without getting close enough for the ending dialogue to initiate. This way, if you hurt her with the satchels at the beginning of the mission but don't quite finish her off, you can finish her off late at the end of the mission with some fire arrows. If you kill her, you will win the mission without the deceiver dying. Perhaps Bungie was trying to leave the deceiver's fate open for you to decide. Seems unlikely, but there is a chance, I suppose. Something kind of funny that you can do at the end of the mission is that you can put the deceiver in a position where the AI can't path him to the camp and then bring another unit up to Shiver's camp to initiate the ending dialogue for the mission. Because the deceiver can't get to Shiver's camp, you will essentially have caused the game to get stuck and your forces and Soulblighters just stare at each other for all eternity. The staff that you can have the Warlock pick up in the mission is called the Warlock Staff of Magic within the tag files. This really doesn't tell us any more about the staff from a lore perspective, and there really isn't any more to add than what I have already showed you in the mission. If you compare the top left corner of the map to the bottom right corner of the map in the mission, A Murder of Crows, we will learn that the two maps are connected. You can see the spot on the map that looks like the spot where the deceiver was held as a prisoner. Shiver has retreated back to Soulblighter's camp. Did she think that Soulblighter would be here? If you look at the map, we have gone in a circle to come back here. In the terrain toward the top left of the map, we can see an image in the terrain of a couple of crows attacking an elk or some other animal. This looks very similar to an image from the 5 Champions mission in Myth the Fallen Lords. In the top right corner of the map, and see a woman's face within the mesh. This is likely intended to be an image of Shiver. Well, that is it for this mission. There were quite a few interesting things to think about, so I am interested to see if you guys have some of your own thoughts on this mission. We only got 2 more missions in Myth 2 Soulblighter, and then we will be going on to Myth 3 The Wolf Age. Can you guys believe it? See you next time in Twiceborn, where we will be chasing Soulblighter with Ulrich and his army.